Stay tuned and let's take a look at the Marvel Legends Bonebreaker Build-A-Figure wave, Havok. Ciao and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember, you can now hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today we continue looking at the Marvel Legends Bonebreaker Build-A-Figure wave, and in front of me today we have Havok, the younger brother of a famous X-Men you may know called Cyclops. Obviously, Havok is his younger brother, and we have had him many times in Marvel Legends before, even in this particular outfit. But it has been a while, and this is a lot of people's mind's eye for Havok, so I don't mind the redo. But what I find interesting about this figure in particular is that Hasbro have given us some new effect pieces which look very specific to Havok. Now, usually with effect pieces, Hasbro sort of rehash the same effect pieces over and over in different colours, so it's nice to see them trying something different here. So curious to see how they look. He also comes with a barrel, which I'm assuming is for the Bonebreaker Build-A-Figure, but I haven't got all the pieces for him just yet. But let's look at Havok. There he is on the side of the box, that same image of Havok on the back, blasting out of his chest there, and we get a write-up that reads: Alex Summers, aka Havok, fires superheated plasma from his hands to devastate an effect. A veteran hero and leader, he longs to step out of his older brother Cyclops' shadow. And then, as always, you get a list of all the figures in this wave you need to build the Bonebreaker Build-A-Figure. Today we're reviewing Havok. So as I said, we've seen this costume design before in Marvel Legends, but it's been a while, so let's see if this one is any better. Here we have Havok out of the packaging with all of his accessories, which include an exclusive water spillage. These barrels have just spilt water everywhere, and now you can represent that in plastic on your display with these puddle effect pieces. So barrels of water and puddle, wait, hang on a minute, no. These are barrels for the Bonebreaker Build-A-Figure. So you know what to do, subscribe to the channel, and once I have all the pieces, we will build and review Bonebreaker. Today, we will focus on Havok, and no, these are not water effects, even though they were teased to us as puddles originally. These are some new blast effects that we've not seen before, and the plastic's a lot harder than I first assumed it would be as well. I thought this would be like a flimsy, softer plastic, but no, that's pretty good, that's pretty solid. You get 3 of these, so I'm interested to check out all of this on this new Havok body. But first, let's do a little bit of a Havok breakdown. Alex Summers is the younger brother of Cyclops and has the mutant ability to absorb cosmic energy and blast it from his body in his trademark circular pattern. Once used to gather mutants, he was rescued by the X-Men, and now he uses his abilities for good and has led teams like X-Factor and the Starjammers. So let's zoom in and take a closer look at this head sculpt, but I have a confession. I've never particularly been a fan of this character design for Havok. I always thought his crown just looked a little bit stupid, to be honest. But it has its purpose in the comics. It helps him harness that cosmic energy around him. But I still think it just looks a little bit stupid. But it's undoubtedly the mind's eye of Havok, and Hasbro have done a great job of putting it in plastic. It's definitely the best version we have gotten of this head sculpt by Hasbro so far. So the head sculpt's very nice. You can see Alex's blonde eyebrows and the blue eyes. And I like that you can see more of the man behind the mask than usual. You've got the red piece there in the middle, and then the silver crown is a separate piece sort of glued in at the forehead and then attached here at the back as well. So it is very nicely done. Probably the best they could have done, to be honest. So bravo, Hasbro. You made a stupid looking headpiece look pretty good in plastic. But yeah, other than that, it is just the Sunfire body with this ring in the middle, which is accurate to what we see in the comics, so you can't even be mad. It's what you see on the page, and that's got like a nice blue glow with the rings in it, which obviously represent his powers as he blasts that plasma energy from his chest. And he can harness it, he can shoot it from his arms as well, of course. But yeah, again, that's what it is. It's the Sunfire body. If I zoom out, you can see all black from the feet all the way up, even on the back here. You've still got the peg hole at the back, of course, and we'll show you that why that is in a minute. No interchangeable hands on this figure. He comes with 2 fisted hands, and if we're only going to get 1 set of hands with any figure, then it has to be fisted hands for me. They're superheroes, they need to be able to fight, and it also works for neutral poses. So not mad about only getting 1 set of hands, and they're black, so I'm sure we have other Marvel Legend hands we can use in the collection if we want to give him some other expressions and poses. But yeah, apart from the red in the forehead and obviously the blue glow on the chest, and the grey of the crown. He is all black Sunfire body. So you're going to be able to get great range on this guy because the butterfly joint is very good. You've got the ab crunch, of course, forward and back. Swivel at the waist, legs go out, thigh cut, double jointed knees, double jointed elbows, bicep swivel, like lots of movement. There's a boot cut, even though he's not wearing boots. There's an ankle pivot and rocker. Like, it's a good body mold, and we're going to be able to get him in some good poses. But if only we had some new energy effects. Oh wait, we do! Now, to be honest, it's nice to see some brand new effect pieces being used here for Havok. As I mentioned earlier, they're made of like a sturdier plastic, so they're not really soft. They're not going to bend and break, but they don't fit as flushly onto the wrist as I would like. They literally just attach there, and you can see I can literally spin that around. It's very loose, but they're not going to fall off because obviously the fisted hands are going to stop them from falling off. But you can see you just take off the hand, you attach it at the wrist, and now it just fits loosely onto the wrist. Now, posing him up, standing him still, if you're not moving, then they do represent his abilities pretty well. Like, Havok's sort of power set is those circular sort of plasma energy beams, and these are circular. They do the job, but yeah, that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? But it's not going to be able to do that on display. So yeah, they both attach to the wrist. I think they're the same piece, but you get two of them, so they're the same size, I think. I'm trying to like match them up to think they're the same. Maybe they're like opposite. So yeah, they're two of the same pieces. Then on the back, you actually get that bigger piece. Let me spin it around. So I showed you already he's got a back peg and that a hole, and that is so you can peg in this separate piece. Now, this is a translucent blue, looks like a puddle. Again, made of a sturdy plastic. You could sort of use it as a stand. No, the feet, to be fair, the foot peg isn't big enough, so you can't use this as a stand. Ignore me, but it was worth a try, wasn't it? So that plugs into the back, and that is quite firmly in there. Like, I can hold that and Havok's not going to fall out. So yeah, that again is like it's like a bigger version of these, if you will. So it's like that dialed up a few percent, and there you go. Now you got a bigger one. But yeah, they are unique and they are new, and I like that they represent his abilities pretty well. Like, sometimes you get effect pieces thrown in a Marvel Legend and it doesn't even make sense, but this definitely makes sense for Havok. Let me just show you. So you get two of these. As I said, they're translucent blue, and these rings are like sculpted details. Like, you can feel the ridges of the sculpt, and there are also these other circle bubbles attached to it as well. So they are pretty good, to be fair. And as I said, sturdy plastic. They're not going to bend and break. So you get the wrist, you take off the hand, and you literally just put it on the wrist, and then you put the hand back on, and that is what you get. But it's, as I said, it's going to be pretty loose on the hand, like so. But still, if you want to use it for some posing or for some ACBA, it definitely looks interesting. Here we have our Marvel Legends Havok comparison, as these are the three recent Havok releases. We've got the X Factor Havok, and then our more modernized version of Havok over here. Now, this modernized version is unfortunately on the bookie cap body, but I do actually prefer the head design here, as he hasn't got a sort of funky looking crown. So I'm going to try a head swap in a minute. And I'm also curious, can we use these new Havok effect pieces on the previous Havok? So here's a quick head swap of the modern Havok head on this new Sunfire Havok body, and it works. It's just that the head is a little bit loose on the ball, unfortunately. So it does work, but it's a bit loose, but it's there if you wanted it to. And if you wanted to downgrade that new head sculpt and put it on the old bookie cap, you can. And to confirm, you can use these new effect pieces on the two previous Havocs. So here we have the bookie cap. If I zoom out a little bit, you can see I've actually got them on the wrist and also on the back, because the bookie cap also had a hole in the back. So you can plug that in there, no problem at all. And because he's got like wrist cuffs, you can see wrist cuffs there, the effect pieces actually fit more snug on these hands compared to the sort of flat wrists of the Sunfire body. So yeah, you can 100% use this effect pieces on your other Havocs. Obviously, you can't use the back piece on this X Factor version, but as you can see here, I've actually plugged in one of the wrist pieces on this X Factor Havok, and again, nice and snug in between the wrist and the sort of wrist cuff, and that actually looks really good on the X Factor Havok. So it's nice to have some options now for our Havocs, because previously that was all we had, this sort of bubbly, sort of soft plastic thing, where now I actually think we've got a much better suited effect piece for Havok. So yeah, go crazy, spread it out, show some love on the display. Continuing with comparisons, here we have Havok with a couple of multiple men. Of course, we needed to see what Alex looked like compared to Perales, and here we have two different versions with the X-Factor version and the more modernized version. Now we just need a classic Perales and we'll have a nice little match. And here we have Havok compared to his older brother, Scott Summers. That's right, older brother. Don't listen to what the movies tell you. Scott is older than Alex. The only brother we're missing now is Vulcan, who is in this same wave. I just don't have my hands on him just yet. But I'll tell you what we do need, an updated Cyclops that's not on the bookie cap, please. Here we have Havok compared to a couple of other figures in this wave that I've already reviewed, including Siren and Darwin. Here we have Frogman and Tigra. And last but never least, here we have Captain Britain and Hal Fire Hank. So, final thoughts on Alex Summers, aka Havok. Now, I joked earlier about not being the biggest fan of that sort of crown design, but I have to admit, Hasbro have executed it very well in plastic, and it does definitely look like my mind's eye of Havok, and it is an updated version of this classic look. It's on a much better body mold, the head sculpt's really nice, and those effect pieces, it's nice seeing new effect pieces that actually represent the character's abilities quite accurately. Now, I'm sure we're going to see these over and over again in multiple colours, but at least they make sense for Havok, so it's nice to have that a display option. And you know me, I like options. So we have a nice X-Factor Havok, we've got a recent modern Havok, but this is definitely the best classic Havok we currently have available to us. But anyway, that's just me. You let me know what you think in the comments below. Of course, do you like this head sculpt? Do you like this design for Havok? Let me know your favourite incarnation in the comments below. But as always, if you want to see more reviews and more Marvel Legends, and guess what? You're in the right place. Go and check out the videos tab. Find the playlist, but most importantly, please, 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 hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Don't miss out on a video. And hit that join button. Become a channel member. Either show some love or join the members club. Much, much appreciated. Come and join me on a live stream. Honestly, that is your way into the channel. I appreciate you. You can follow me on Instagram at itsdanwho. And I'm on Twitter as well. Don't be shy. Tweet me at DanWhoReviews. And until then, my name is Dan W. And I will, of course, see you on the next one.